Be me, Barbara, Human Resources Director. Been working in human resources for 15 years. Finally made it to director level 3 years ago. Proud of the culture I've built here. Zero tolerance policy for harassment. Mandatory sensitivity training every quarter. Anonymous reporting system I designed myself. Monthly all-hands meetings about workplace respect. Everyone should feel safe, especially women. This is my life's work. Monday morning, walking through the office. Notice something weird. Derek from accounting has a small black device clipped to his shirt pocket. Looks like a camera. Definitely a camera. Walk over to his desk. Derek, what is that? He doesn't even look up from his computer. Body camera. My jaw literally drops. Excuse me, a body camera? Yep, records video and audio. 1080p, 12-hour battery life. Feel my face getting hot. Derek, you cannot record people without their consent in the workplace. He finally looks at me, completely calm. Actually checked with legal. One-party consent state. As long as I'm part of the conversation, I'm good. My hands are shaking. This is creating a hostile work environment. He goes back to his computer. Is it though? Storm back to my office. Immediately email the entire male staff about recording policies. Spend an hour drafting it. Explain how cameras violate privacy. Explain how this creates anxiety for other employees. Explain how this demonstrates a lack of trust. Explain the importance of psychological safety. Hit send. Feel slightly better. Next morning, walk into the office. See Cameron from IT with a camera on his belt. Richard from operations has one clipped to his pocket. Ryan from sales has one on his collar. Trevor from marketing has one attached to his bag strap. My stomach drops. Count at least 8 cameras just walking from the elevator to my office. This is coordinated. This is organized. They planned this. Call an emergency meeting with all department heads. 6 men, 2 women. 5 of the men are wearing cameras. I can barely breathe. Gentlemen, ladies, we need to discuss this camera situation. James from finance speaks up immediately. What situation, Barbara? His camera is pointing right at me. The fact that you're all recording each other, recording me, recording everyone. We're protecting ourselves. Feel anger rising in my chest. Protecting yourselves from what exactly? Kyle from operations leans forward. From accusations, false accusations, ambiguous accusations, from he said, she said situations where we lose automatically. My voice gets louder. That is absurd. That is paranoid. That is... Richard interrupts me. Is it? Because in the last year you've investigated 16 harassment claims. All 16 were against men. 12 were unsubstantiated. Yet all 12 men were still required to undergo additional training, mandatory check-ins, and one was transferred to a different department. Feel my whole body tensing. Those investigations were thorough and fair. Ryan laughs. Actually laughs. Fair? Tom got reported for asking Jennifer if she had a nice weekend. That's what triggered a 2-week investigation. He missed a promotion cycle because of it. The complaint stated he asked repeatedly and made her uncomfortable. He asked once, on a Monday, like a normal human. We have the email timestamp. My hands are clenched into fists. The complainant's feelings are valid regardless of intent. Cameron shakes his head. See, that's the problem. Intent doesn't matter anymore. Context doesn't matter. We're guilty until proven innocent, and even then we're still suspicious. Stand up from my chair. I have created policies that protect everyone in this organization. Trevor finally speaks, voice cold. You've created policies that protect women and punish men for existing in the same space. My voice is shaking now. That is not true. That is not fair. I have worked my entire career to make workplaces equitable. James stands up too. Barbara, we're done with this meeting. We're going to continue wearing our cameras. We've consulted with legal. We're within our rights. If you have a problem with that, you can take it up with the executive team. They all stand up. All of them. Walk out of my office, leaving me standing there. Cameras recording until the very last second. Spend the rest of the week spiraling. Can't focus on anything. Every time I walk through the office, I see more cameras. Guys from departments I barely interact with. Even some of the younger employees. The new hires, everyone. Friday afternoon. Get a call from Mitchell, our VP. Barbara, can you come to my office? Walk there slowly. Dread building in my stomach. He's sitting behind his desk, looking tired. We need to talk about the camera situation. Feel a wave of relief. Finally, someone sees how inappropriate this is. Mitchell, thank you. This has been absolutely unacceptable, and He holds up his hand. I've had 7 different employees come to me this week. All men. All with similar complaints about human resources policies. My relief turns to ice. Complaints? They feel targeted. They feel like your department operates with a presumption of guilt. They feel like the anonymous reporting system is being weaponized. Cannot believe what I'm hearing. Mitchell, I have built a comprehensive framework for addressing workplace harassment. These men are upset because they're being held accountable. He sighs. Barbara, 3 women in marketing reported that Derek made them uncomfortable by wearing his camera. I spoke with Derek. You want to know what he told me? Don't answer. He said he started wearing it the day after you called him in for a complaint. A complaint from an anonymous source stating he looked at someone the wrong way in the break room. He was never told who. He was never told when. He was never told what looking the wrong way even meant. But he had to attend a 4-hour training session and sign a document acknowledging the complaint. Feel defensive. We take all complaints seriously. He was getting coffee, Barbara. Someone reported him for getting coffee and glancing in the wrong direction. Stand up. I don't have to defend my policies to you or anyone. These policies are best practices. They're based on research. They're based on creating safe environments. Mitchell's face hardens. They're based on assuming men are predators. And these men are tired of it. My voice gets loud. Oh, I'm sorry that men have to experience a tiny fraction of the discomfort that women have experienced for decades. I'm sorry that men finally have to think about their behavior. I'm sorry that men... He interrupts. Barbara, I need you to take a week off. Stop mid-sentence. What? You're too close to this. You're too emotional about this. Take a week. We'll discuss this when you return. Feel tears of rage forming. You're punishing me for doing my job. I'm asking you to take a break. Paid leave. Use the time to think. Walk out before he can say anything else. Don't take the week. Come in Monday morning. Ready to fight. Ready to defend everything I've built. Ready to show everyone that I'm right. 10 a.m. There's a meeting on my calendar I didn't schedule. Conference room B. Walk in. 12 men sitting around the table. Every single one wearing a camera. They've been waiting for me. Richard gestures to the empty chair. Barbara, sit down. Stay standing. I don't know what you think this is, but... Ryan's voice cuts through. Sit down. Something in his tone makes me sit. All 12 cameras pointed at me. Red recording lights blinking. Derek starts talking, and his voice is shaking with anger. We're done, Barbara. We're done with your policies. We're done with your investigations. We're done with walking on eggshells. We're done feeling like criminals. Try to respond. You don't understand the larger context of... Cameron slams his hand on the table. No, you don't get to talk yet. You're going to listen. Have never been spoken to like this. Feel panic rising. Look toward the door. Trevor continues. For 2 years, we've dealt with your system, your anonymous complaints, your guilty until proven innocent investigations, your mandatory trainings that treat us like we're all one step away from assault. We're done. Find my voice. You think you're the victims here? You think having to be mindful of your behavior is oppression? Richard leans forward, and he's furious. I got reported for helping Susan carry boxes. Carrying boxes. Because I didn't ask first. I saw a colleague struggling, and I helped. That turned into a week-long investigation about respecting boundaries. I've worked here for 9 years. 9 years. Never a single complaint. Then you become human resources, director, and suddenly I'm a problem? Kyle stands up, pacing. My team was afraid to meet with me one-on-one. My own team. They thought it looked bad. Thought it might create uncomfortable situations. So we started having meetings with the door open, with other people present, even when discussing confidential performance issues. You want to know what that did? It destroyed trust. It destroyed mentorship. It destroyed my ability to actually manage. My voice is rising. Good, maybe those one-on-one meetings were inappropriate to begin with. The room explodes. Multiple men talking over each other. Voices getting louder. James's voice cuts through. Inappropriate? Managing my team is inappropriate? Having private conversations about someone's performance review is inappropriate? What exactly is appropriate, Barbara? Stand up. Meetings behind closed doors between men and women create opportunities for... Ryan interrupts, standing too. For what? For work? For actual professional development? I can't give feedback to half my team because you've decided any interaction could be predatory? My hands are shaking. I've created guidelines that protect everyone. Trevor's laugh is bitter. You've created a prison. You've made it impossible to work normally. Half of us are afraid to make small talk. We can't comment on anything. We can't ask personal questions. We can't be friendly. We can barely be colleagues. Cameron stands. I had a panic attack before my performance review. A panic attack. Because my reviewer was you, and I was terrified of saying the wrong thing, making the wrong eye contact, sitting in the wrong position. I've never had anxiety before working here. Now I do. Feel tears forming, not from sadness. From rage. You're all being dramatic. You're all making this about yourselves when the real issue is, Richard interrupts, voice like steel. The real issue is that you don't see us as people. You see us as threats. Every single man in this building is a potential predator to you. That's your starting position, and we're furious about it. Multiple men start talking at once. Derek, you rejected my request for parental leave modification because flexibility is designed to help working mothers. Kyle, you told me I was being aggressive in a meeting where I disagreed with you, but when Sarah disagreed using the same tone, she was being assertive. Ryan, you implemented a policy where men can't travel alone with female colleagues, but women can travel alone with male colleagues. Explain that. James, you refused to investigate when Tom reported being touched inappropriately at the holiday party because men don't experience that kind of harassment. Trevor, you canceled the mentorship program because too many senior men were mentoring junior women and you said it looked bad. Shout over all of them. Enough. Room goes quiet, breathing hard. You want to know what the real problem is? The real problem is that for decades, centuries, women have had to navigate workplaces designed by men, for men, that excluded them, harassed them, diminished them. And now, when we finally have a voice, when we finally have policies that take women seriously, you can't handle it. You can't handle the slightest discomfort. You can't handle being questioned. You can't handle accountability. Derek stands, and he's shaking with anger. Accountability? Accountability? I got investigated because I wore a shirt someone deemed too tight. A shirt. Because it might make others uncomfortable by drawing attention to my body. Do you understand how insane that is? Voice getting shrill. Dress codes apply to everyone. Derek's voice gets louder. But they don't, do they? Because Richard wears the same size shirt and he's never been reported. You want to know the difference? The person who reported me had asked me out 2 months earlier, and I said no. I said no. And that turned into a harassment complaint about my clothing. Feel my face burning. That's not what the complaint said. He pulls out his phone. I requested the complaint through legal. I have it right here. Want me to read it? Don't respond. He reads anyway. Derek's choice of fitted clothing creates a distracting environment and seems designed to attract attention. That's it. That's the whole complaint. And you investigated me for 2 weeks. Richard adds, and the person who filed it faced no consequences for a false report. No consequences for weaponizing your system. Try to defend. We can't punish people for making complaints in good faith. Ryan's voice is harsh. Good faith? It was retaliation. It was obvious retaliation. But you didn't care because it fit your narrative. Cameron walks closer to me. You want to know why we're wearing cameras? You want to know why we're this angry? It's because we're terrified. Every single day. Terrified that someone will misinterpret something, misremember something, exaggerate something, or just lie. And we know that you will believe them over us every time. Voice breaking. I believe evidence. I believe facts. Trevor's laugh is cold. You believe feelings. You believe vibes. You believe something felt off is enough to launch an investigation that goes in our permanent file. Wipe my eyes. You're all being paranoid. Kyle slams his laptop on the table, opens it. Here. I've documented every investigation you've opened in the past 2 years. 43 total. 43. Want to guess how many targeted women? Don't answer. 0. 0 women have been investigated for harassment, inappropriate behavior, or creating hostile environments. Not 1. In 2 years. You think that's statistically possible? You think women are just inherently better behaved? Or is your system biased? Stand up. Women report more because women experience more. James stands too. Or women report more because they know you'll take their side. They know the system is rigged in their favor. They know there's no consequences for false reports. My voice is shaking. False reports are extremely rare. Richard's voice is dangerous. Are they? Or do you just refuse to acknowledge them? Because I can name 6 off the top of my head from this office alone. Derek adds, when I proved my complaint was false, literally proved it with email timestamps and witness statements, nothing happened to the person who filed it. Nothing. But I still had to do the training. Still had to have monthly check-ins. Still have it in my file. Where's the fairness in that? Feel cornered. Feel attacked. Feel like everything I've built is crumbling. You don't understand. You can't understand. Women are still harassed. Still discriminated against. Still... Ryan interrupts. We're not saying they aren't. We're saying your solution is to discriminate against us instead, and we're done with it. Trevor adds, we tried talking to you, individually. We tried raising concerns. You dismissed all of us, called us defensive, called us part of the problem. So we stopped talking and started recording. Slumped back in my chair. The cameras make everyone uncomfortable. Cameron's voice is firm. Your policies make us uncomfortable. The cameras make us safe. Last attempt. Mitchell won't allow this to continue. Kyle smiles, but it's not friendly. Mitchell approved the cameras. We met with him and legal before we started wearing them. They reviewed your investigation records. They reviewed the complaints. They reviewed the outcomes. Mitchell agrees there's a problem. Feel the room spinning. That's not, he told me to take time off, but he didn't say. James finishes. He's requiring you to undergo retraining, bias training, investigation best practices, due process, and all of your future investigations will be reviewed by legal before any action is taken. Stand up too fast. Chair falls backward. You went around me. You undermined me. You coordinated against me. Derek's voice is calm now. We protected ourselves, that's all. The same way women have had to protect themselves for years. You should understand that. Feel like screaming. It's not the same. It's not the same at all. Richard stands. You're right. It's not. Because when we protect ourselves, you call it hostile. When women protect themselves, you call it necessary. That's the double standard we're done with. Grab my bag. I'm leaving. I'm going to Mitchell. I'm going to the executive team. I'm going to... Ryan's voice stops me. We already met with them, yesterday, all 12 of us. We presented our documentation, our recordings, our evidence. That's why this meeting is happening. They asked us to tell you directly how we feel, so that's what we're doing. Trevor adds, we're angry, Barbara. We're furious. We're fed up with being treated like threats. We're fed up with your biased investigations. We're fed up with policies that assume we're guilty. We're fed up with you. Feel tears falling now. Can't stop them. I was trying to help. I was trying to make things better. Kyle's voice softened slightly, but only slightly. You made things better for some people, but you made things worse for us. And you didn't care. That's what makes us angriest. You didn't care. Cameron adds, every time we raised concerns, you dismissed them. You told us we were being defensive. You told us we didn't understand. You never once considered that maybe, your approach was flawed. Derek finishes. So we'll keep wearing our cameras. We'll keep protecting ourselves. Because you won't. Because your system doesn't protect us. It targets us. Walk to the door. Hand on the handle. Turn back. You're all cowards. You're all afraid of accountability. You're all... Richard's voice cuts through. We're done listening to you, Barbara. This conversation is over. We said what we needed to say. You can leave now. All 12 of them. Sitting there. Cameras recording. Staring at me. Waiting for me to leave. Walk out. Hear the door close behind me. Walk past desk after desk. Cameras everywhere. Little red lights, blinking, recording, protecting, reach my office, close the door, sit in the dark, try to understand what just happened, try to understand how everything went so wrong, try to understand how the people I was protecting became the people I was hurting. But mostly I just sit there, furious, humiliated, defeated, while outside my office, the cameras keep recording, and the men keep working, finally feeling safe. From me,